Master your social instinct. Rewire your brain for influence. A motivational audiobook by the Protocols of Astrian. Before we start, if you ever feel like you are walking through fog alone, hit subscribe and let these audiobooks be your quiet companion through every season. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and immediately started criticizing everything you just said? Do you find yourself feeling exhausted after simple social gatherings, replaying moments in your head and wishing you had acted differently? You might believe you are just shy or awkward or not a people person. But what if the real reason is something far more interesting and completely fixable? The truth is that your brain is running on an old operating system, one that was designed for a very different world. Thousands of years ago, your biggest social concern was being accepted by your small tribe, because getting kicked out meant certain death. Your brain learned to treat any social friction as a life-or-death emergency, flooding your body with stress and fear. This ancient wiring is still inside you today, and it's the hidden force behind your awkward silences, your nervous chatter, and your fear of judgment. This book is your personal guide to understanding that hidden force and, for the first time, taking control of it. We are not going to try and turn you into a fake, scripted version of a confident person who falls apart the moment something unexpected happens. Instead, we are going to dive deep into the machinery of your own mind and gently, step by step, rewire the circuits that are holding you back. You will learn why your brain reacts the way it does, how to calm its ancient fears, and how to build new, powerful social instincts that actually work in the modern world. This is not about learning a bunch of tricks to manipulate people. This is about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts others, who feels calm in any room, and who can build genuine connections without anxiety. The journey starts right now, and it begins with a single, exciting truth. You have the power to change your own brain. Chapter 1. The Ancient Brain in a Modern World. Imagine you are standing in line at a coffee shop, and the person behind you makes a small comment about the weather. Your heart might start beating just a little faster. Your mind might go completely blank as you search for anything to say back. In that tiny moment, you are not just a person getting coffee. You are a caveman facing a potential threat. Your brain, specifically a part called the amygdala, is constantly scanning for danger, and it has not updated its software in tens of thousands of years. To this ancient part of your brain, a stranger talking to you is not a harmless social moment. It is a wildcard event that could lead to rejection or conflict. It instantly sounds the alarm, flooding your body with chemicals designed to help you fight, run, or hide. This is why you freeze up, why your palms sweat, and why your clever mind suddenly feels like an empty cave. You are having a physical reaction to a social situation, a reaction that was designed to save you from a saber-toothed tiger. This ancient alarm system worked perfectly when we lived in small tribes of 50 people where social standing was directly tied to survival. If you were rejected by your tribe back then, you were essentially sentenced to death, left alone without protection or resources. Your brain learned to treat a grumpy look from a tribe member as a critical warning sign. It developed powerful instincts to avoid standing out, to follow the group, and to perceive any social uncertainty as a potential catastrophe. Fast forward to today, and you are walking into a party with 50 strangers, or giving a presentation to 100 coworkers, and your brain is using the exact same outdated threat detection system. It sees a room full of potential judges, people who might reject you, and it screams at you to be careful, to be quiet, to get out. It does not understand that an awkward conversation today will not get you banished to the wilderness. It is simply doing the job it was built for, and it is doing it way too well. The funny and frustrating part of all this is that your modern brain, the smart, thinking part that lives in your neocortex, knows there is no real danger. You know intellectually that an awkward pause is not going to kill you, but your ancient brain does not listen to your smart brain when the alarm is ringing. It acts first and asks questions later, which is why you can feel so frustrated with yourself. You know you should be calm, but your body is trembling. You know you should have something interesting to say, but your mind is a blank wall. This is the core problem we are solving in this book, the disconnect between your ancient instincts and your modern environment. We are not going to fight this ancient brain, because fighting it only makes the alarm louder. Instead, we are going to learn how to talk to it, how to soothe it, and how to slowly update its programming so it stops seeing a conversation as a combat zone. Think of your social instincts like a sensitive smoke alarm. Right now, yours is so sensitive that it goes off when you burn a piece of toast, filling the whole house with panic over a tiny, harmless wisp of smoke. The goal of this book is not to remove the smoke alarm. You still need it for real fires. The goal is to adjust its sensitivity so it only rings when there is a real problem, not every time you try to cook. We will teach your ancient brain to tell the difference between a genuine social threat, like someone being truly hostile, and a harmless social moment, like introducing yourself to a new person. This process is called rewiring, and it is not just a metaphor. Your brain has a superpower called neuroplasticity, which means it can physically change its structure based on your experiences. Every time you successfully navigate a social moment without panicking, you are building new, calmer pathways in your brain. This journey of understanding your ancient brain is the first and most important step toward freedom. When you realize that your anxiety is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw, but simply a biological echo from a different era, you can stop being so hard on yourself. You can stop calling yourself broken or shy, and start seeing yourself as someone with an overactive but fixable alarm system. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful and motivating. It means the problem is not who you are, but a program running in the background, and programs can be rewritten. You are not stuck with the social instincts you were born with. You are a sculptor, and your brain is the clay. The shape it currently holds is not its final form. So as we move forward together, I want you to hold on to this new understanding. When you feel that familiar flutter of panic before speaking, I want you to whisper to yourself, there's my ancient brain doing its old job. Just this simple act of numbing it creates a tiny gap between you and the feeling. In that gap lives your freedom. In that gap, you get to choose your next move instead of your ancient brain choosing it for you. We are about to spend the rest of this book learning how to make that gap bigger and bigger until you are finally the one in control. Get ready, because this is where the real adventure begins. Chapter 2: Spotting Your Social Autopilot. Before you can change anything, you have to know what you are working with, and that means becoming a friendly detective of your own behavior. Most of the time, we move through social situations on a kind of autopilot, reacting automatically without really noticing what we are doing or why. You might walk into a party and instantly find yourself glued to your phone in the corner without ever making a conscious decision to do so. Or you might meet someone new and start talking a mile a minute, filling every silence with nervous chatter, and not realize it until you are driving home, exhausted. This autopilot mode is controlled by your ancient brain, and it has a few standard programs it runs whenever it feels a little threatened. Your job in this chapter is to catch it in the act and figure out which programs are running your show. Let's look at some of the most common autopilot programs that people run. The first is the freezer. This is the person who goes completely still and quiet in social settings. They might stand against a wall, avoid eye contact, and speak only when spoken to, using as few words as possible. Their ancient brain has decided that the safest thing to do is to become invisible, to not draw any attention whatsoever. Then there is the fighter. This person's anxiety comes out as aggression or intensity. They might be overly competitive in conversations, always trying to prove a point. Or they might come across as argumentative. They are fighting against the perceived threat of being seen as weak or unimportant. The third common program is the fleer, and this person literally or emotionally runs away. They might leave parties early, cancel plans at the last minute, or keep all their conversations extremely shallow so no one can get close enough to judge them. The fourth autopilot program, and a very tricky one, is the people pleaser. This person has learned that the best way to avoid danger is to make sure everyone else is happy. They agree with everything. They laugh at jokes they do not find funny, and they apologize constantly, even when they have done nothing wrong. Their ancient brain believes that if they can just make everyone else comfortable, no one will ever reject them. The fifth program is the performer. This person deals with social fear by trying to be the most interesting, funniest, or smartest person in the room. They dominate conversations, tell long stories, and seek validation through attention. Underneath all that performance, however, is the same ancient fear of not being good enough. Which of these characters sounds the most familiar to you? Be honest with yourself. You might even see a mix of several programs depending on the situation. Now I want you to start a little mental experiment, or even better, a written journal for the next few days. Pay close attention to your autopilot moments. When do you feel that twinge of social anxiety? Is it at work meetings, at family gatherings, when you are meeting new people? Once you notice the feeling, pause and ask yourself, what did my autopilot just do? Did you reach for your phone? Did you make an excuse to leave the room? Did you start talking faster? Did you agree with something you did not believe? Do not judge yourself for these actions. Remember, they are just your ancient brain running its old programs to try and protect you. Your only job right now is to be a curious observer, collecting data about your own behavior. This information is pure gold, and it is the foundation for everything we will build together. As you observe, you will likely start to notice patterns. Maybe you are a freezer in large groups but a performer on one-on-one dates. Maybe you are a people pleaser with your family but a fleer at work. These patterns are incredibly valuable clues. They show you the specific situations that trigger your ancient alarm the most. They also show you the specific strategies your brain has defaulted to for survival. Some of these strategies might have even worked for you in the past, providing a temporary sense of safety. But the problem with autopilot programs is that they are rigid and automatic. They do not allow you to choose the best response for the actual situation you are in. They just run the same old tape, over and over, keeping you stuck in the same uncomfortable patterns. This week, be kind to yourself as you do this detective work. You are not trying to fix anything yet. You are just trying to understand the landscape of your own mind. Imagine you are an explorer who has just discovered a new island. Your first task is not to build a city. It is to walk the shore, map the hills, and note the locations of the rivers. You are simply creating a map of your current social self. This map will show you exactly where you want to go and the paths you are currently stuck on. The awareness you are building right now is the single most powerful tool you have. You cannot change a program you do not know is running. But once you see it, once you can name it, you have already taken the first step toward turning off the autopilot and taking the controls for yourself. Chapter 3: The Hidden Messages We Send Ourselves. Now that you are becoming an expert detective of your outer behavior, it is time to go deeper and investigate the inner world that drives it all. Right beneath the surface of your autopilot actions, there is a constant stream of thoughts, a private radio station playing only in your head. Most of the time, you do not even notice this station is on. You just believe everything it says without question. These are the hidden messages you send to yourself, the instant interpretations and judgments you make about every social situation. If someone glances your way and doesn't smile, your internal radio might broadcast, "They don't like me." If you stumble over a word, it might scream, "You are so stupid, everyone is laughing at you." These thoughts are not facts. They are just stories, and often they are old, worn-out stories that were written long ago. These hidden messages are the fuel for your autopilot programs. Your ancient brain hears the message, "They don't like me," and instantly hits the panic button, launching your freezer, fleer, or fighter response. The thought comes first and the feeling and behavior follow in a split second. This sequence happens so fast that it feels like one single event. You see the glance, you feel the anxiety, and you look away. But in reality, there was a tiny, powerful thought in between, the interpretation. And because that thought happens in a flash, you never get a chance to question it. You just accept it as the truth. Learning to catch these thoughts in the act, to slow down the tape and examine the message, is one of the most transformative skills you will ever develop. What kind of scripts are running on your internal radio station? For many of us, they are variations of a few core fears. There is the fear of being boring with messages like, "You have nothing interesting to contribute," or "They wish they were talking to someone else." There is the fear of being judged with messages like, "Everyone can see you are nervous," or "They are noticing how awkward you are." There is the fear of rejection with messages like, "If you say that, they will think you are weird," or "They are probably going to exclude you next time." And underneath many of these, there is the deep fear of being fundamentally flawed with a constant, nagging message. "You are not good enough." These scripts are often so old and familiar that you think they are just part of who you are. Think of these messages as old, scratched records that have been playing in your mind for years, maybe since childhood. Perhaps a teacher was critical of you, or a group of kids left you out, and your young brain, trying to make sense of it, created a story. "It must be my fault. I must be unlikable." That scratched record has been playing ever since, coloring every social interaction with its painful melody. But here is the liberating truth. You are not stuck with that record. You can take the needle off. You can replace it with a new song. The first step is simply to become aware of the lyrics. When you feel a wave of social anxiety, pause and ask yourself, "What message am I playing in my head right now?" Write it down. Shine a light on it. See it for what it is, just a thought, not a fact. Once you have caught a few of these hidden messages, we can start to examine them with curiosity instead of belief. You can ask yourself some powerful questions. Is this thought definitely true? Can I be 100% sure that they think I'm boring? What is the evidence for this thought, and what is the evidence against it? Is there another, kinder, more likely explanation for what just happened? Maybe that person who didn't smile was just lost in their own thoughts, worried about their own problems. Maybe they have a headache. Maybe they are nearsighted and didn't even see you. When you start to question your automatic thoughts, you create a crack in their armor. You realize they are just one possible interpretation of events, and often a very negative and unhelpful one at that. This process is not about toxic positivity or pretending everything is great when it is not. It is about trading in your old, painful, unhelpful scripts for new ones that are more balanced, realistic, and kind. You are becoming the editor of your own mind. You get to decide which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones are just old noise. You get to rewrite the stories you tell yourself about who you are and how you fit into the social world. This is the deep work of rewiring, and it is incredibly exciting. Imagine walking into a room and instead of your internal radio blaring, "You don't belong here," it whispers a new, calm message. "I am curious about this place and these people. I am open to connection." That shift alone will change everything. Chapter 4. The Anchor of Calm: How to Find Your Center Anytime, Anywhere. Before you can rewrite any scripts or connect with anyone else, you need to master the most fundamental skill of all: the ability to calm your own nervous system. Think of your body as a ship and your emotions as the sea. When the waters are rough and stormy, you cannot steer effectively. You are just being tossed around by the waves. Your ancient brain creates those storms with its fight-or-flight response, flooding your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart races, your breathing becomes shallow, and your muscles tense up. In this state, your smart, social brain goes offline, and you are left reacting from your most primitive instincts. The anchor of calm is the tool that allows you to drop a weight into that stormy sea, steadying your ship so you can think clearly and choose your actions wisely. The beautiful thing about your nervous system is that you are not a victim of it. You have the power to actively shift it from a state of high alert, called sympathetic mode, to a state of calm and connection, called parasympathetic mode. And you can do this with simple physical techniques that take only seconds. The fastest and most powerful way to signal safety to your ancient brain is through your breath. When you are scared, your breathing becomes fast and shallow, which tells your brain, "See." We are panicking, so there must be danger. It is a vicious cycle, but you can break that cycle by taking control of your exhale. There is a reason we sigh with relief. A long, slow exhale is the body's natural brake pedal for stress. Here is a technique you can use anywhere, at any time, and no one will even notice you are doing it. The next time you feel that flutter of social anxiety, I want you to take a normal breath in through your nose, and then make your exhale last as long as possible, slowly letting the air out through your mouth. Try to make the exhale longer than the inhale. Do this just 2 or 3 times. What you are doing is physically stimulating your vagus nerve, the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system. This long exhale sends a direct message from your body to your brain saying, "All clear, we are safe, we can relax." You will literally feel your heart rate start to slow down and your shoulders drop. You have just dropped your anchor in the middle of a social storm. Another incredible tool you always have with you is your sense of touch and your awareness of the physical world. When your mind is spinning with anxious thoughts about the future, "What if I say something stupid?" or replaying the past, "I can't believe I said that," you are not present in your body. Your anchor can be to deliberately bring your attention back to the physical moment. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Really notice the pressure. Feel your back against the chair. Reach down and touch the fabric of your pants and notice its texture. Look around the room and quickly name 5 things you can see. A blue lamp, a wooden table, a shiny coffee mug, a green plant, a black phone. This simple act of grounding yourself in the present moment through your senses pulls your brain out of its panicked, imaginary future and into the calm, safe reality of right now. You can also create a physical anchor that you carry with you. This could be a small, smooth stone in your pocket, a special ring on your finger, or even just a specific spot on your wrist that you can gently press. The key is to practice associating this physical anchor with a state of calm. When you are relaxed at home, maybe sitting comfortably, hold your anchor and take a few of those long, slow breaths. Focus on the feeling of calm and associate it with that physical sensation. Do this regularly. Then, when you are in a stressful social situation, you can touch your anchor. Because your brain learns through association, that simple touch can start to trigger the same feelings of calm you practiced at home. You have created a portable, secret switch to a peaceful state. These techniques are not just abstract ideas, they are your new survival kit. Practice them everywhere. Practice them when you are stuck in traffic. Practice them when you are watching a stressful movie. Practice them when you are just sitting at your desk. The more you practice, the stronger these new neural pathways become. You are literally building a new reflex, a new autopilot program that defaults to calm instead of panic. Soon, taking a long, slow breath when you feel nervous will become as natural as flinching when something flies at your face. And when you have that anchor, that ability to find your center anytime, anywhere, you will walk into social situations not as a victim of your anxiety, but as its calm and capable captain. Chapter 5. The Curiosity Switch Turning Attention Outward. You are standing in a room full of people and your internal radio is blasting its usual hits. Do I look okay? What should I say? Does anyone want to talk to me? Your entire attention is locked on yourself, on your own feelings, on your own performance. This is called self-consciousness, and it is the enemy of all good connection. When you are trapped in your own head, you are unavailable to the people around you. You cannot truly listen, you cannot be present, and you certainly cannot be charming. The good news is that there is a simple, powerful switch you can flip to escape this mental prison. It is called the curiosity switch, and when you turn it on, everything changes. It shifts your focus from the tiny, anxious world inside you to the vast, interesting world outside you. Curiosity is the natural antidote to self-consciousness. It is impossible to be truly curious about someone else and obsessed with your own anxiety at the exact same time. Your brain can only hold one primary focus at a moment. So, when you deliberately choose to become curious about the person in front of you, you are physically pulling your mental energy away from your anxious thoughts. You are giving your brain a new, more interesting job to do. Instead of asking yourself, "What do I say next?" you start asking, "I wonder what their story is." This simple shift is like turning a spotlight away from your own shaky feet and pointing it out into the room, where you can finally see all the fascinating people standing there. Turning on the curiosity switch is an active choice, and you can practice it anytime, anywhere, even when you are alone. Sit in a coffee shop and just watch people for a few minutes. Let your mind wander with questions. Look at a person and wonder, I wonder what they are thinking about right now. I wonder where they are going. I wonder what their biggest worry is today. I wonder what makes them laugh. You are simply exercising your curiosity muscle. You are building the habit of seeing people as mysteries to be explored, not as judges to be feared. This practice makes the switch easier and easier to flip when you are actually in a conversation. Now imagine you are in a conversation and you feel that familiar anxiety creeping in. This is the perfect moment to deliberately flip the switch. Instead of panicking about what to say, turn your full attention to the other person and become genuinely interested in them. Ask them a question, not because you have to, but because you are truly curious about the answer. Listen to what they say and let their answer spark a new question in your mind. This creates a natural, effortless flow in the conversation. You are no longer performing, you are exploring, and people can feel this shift instantly. When you are genuinely curious about them, they feel valued, interesting, and important. You become a magnet without even trying. Curiosity also has the amazing power to make you more interesting. Think about the most charismatic people you know. Are they the ones who tell the most amazing stories about themselves? Or are they the ones who ask you great questions and seem fascinated by your answers? It is almost always the latter. When you are curious, you learn things. You gather stories and information. You become a collector of human experiences. And then, when it is your turn to share, you have a wealth of interesting material to draw from. You are not just talking about yourself. You are sharing perspectives and stories you have gathered from your curious explorations of the world. The curiosity switch is your ticket out of social anxiety and into genuine connection. It transforms a scary, high-pressure performance into an exciting, low-stakes exploration. You are no longer a nervous actor on a stage. You are an anthropologist in a fascinating new culture. Every person you meet is a new chapter, a new mystery, a new world to discover. So, the next time you feel that familiar self-conscious knot in your stomach, remember the switch. Take a breath, anchor yourself, and then deliberately turn your attention outward. Ask a question. Wonder about their story. You will be amazed at how quickly the anxiety fades and is replaced by a warm, genuine interest in the amazing human being standing right in front of you. Chapter 6. Tuning into the quiet channel, the art of reading people. Words are just the surface of communication, the tip of a very large iceberg. Beneath the surface, a whole world of information is constantly being broadcast, a silent channel of body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and energy. Most of us are so focused on the words, on what we are going to say next, that we are completely deaf to this quiet channel. We miss the subtle signals that tell us what someone is really feeling. Learning to tune into this channel is like developing a superpower. Suddenly, you will understand people on a much deeper level. You will know when someone is uncomfortable even though they are saying they are fine. You will sense when someone is open to talking and when they need space. This skill is the foundation of true empathy and deep connection. Let us start with the face, the most expressive part of the human body. Our faces flicker with micro-expressions, tiny, lightning-fast movements that reveal our true emotions before we have a chance to hide them. A quick flash of fear might cross someone's face when you bring up a difficult topic. A subtle tightening of the lips might indicate they are holding back their true opinion. A genuine smile, called a Duchenne smile, involves not just the mouth but the muscles around the eyes, creating little crow's feet. A fake smile only uses the mouth. Start practicing by simply noticing faces. Watch people in meetings, in movies, or in cafes. Just observe without judgment. What do you think that expression means? You are training your brain to become a student of the human face, and it is a fascinating study. Next, we have the body. How is the person standing or sitting? Are their arms and legs crossed, forming a barrier between you? This can signal defensiveness or discomfort. Are they leaning towards you? This usually means they are engaged and interested. Are they leaning away or pointing their feet toward the door? This might mean they are ready to leave, even if they are politely still talking. Watch their hands. Are they fidgeting, which can signal nervousness? Are they open and relaxed? The body rarely lies. It is the most honest communicator we have because most of us are not consciously controlling our posture and gestures. By paying attention to the body, you are getting a direct feed of someone's emotional state. Then there is the incredible power of the voice, what we call paralanguage. It is not just the words, but how they are said. The tone can be warm and inviting or cold and sharp. The pace can be fast and excited or slow and hesitant. The volume can be confident and clear or soft and uncertain. Listen for changes. Does their voice get higher when they talk about a certain topic? That could signal stress or excitement. Do they start speaking faster? That could mean they are nervous or passionate. When you listen to the music of someone's voice, not just the lyrics, you gain a whole new level of understanding. You can hear the feelings behind the words. Now here is the most important part of this chapter. You must use this information with kindness and curiosity, not as a weapon. The goal of reading people is not to manipulate them or to prove that you know what they are thinking. The goal is to understand them better so you can connect with them more deeply. If you notice someone's arms are crossed and they are leaning away, do not accuse them of being defensive. Instead, you might gently check in. You could say, "Hey, I just want to make sure you are still comfortable with this conversation." You are using your observation to open a door, not to make a judgment. You are using it to build a bridge of empathy. Tuning into the quiet channel takes practice. At first, it might feel like you are trying to learn a new language, but the more you practice, the more fluent you will become. Start with just one thing. For a whole day, just focus on people's smiles. Are they real or fake? The next day, focus on posture. The day after that, focus on tone of voice. Soon, you will not have to focus on individual elements anymore. You will start to perceive the whole symphony at once. You will walk into a room and instantly get a read on the emotional atmosphere. You will understand people on a level that most never reach, and this profound understanding will make you one of the most empathetic, trusted, and influential people they know. Chapter 7. Rewriting your mental scripts from I can't to I get to. You have spent time identifying the old, scratched records that play in your mind, the hidden messages that fuel your anxiety. Now comes the most creative and empowering part of our journey, the rewrite. You are not just a detective anymore. You are now a scriptwriter for the most important movie you will ever star in, the movie of your own life. You have the power to take those old, limiting scripts like, "I'm so awkward," or "I don't belong here," and replace them with new, powerful, and believable ones that support the person you want to become. This is not about fake affirmations that your brain rejects. This is about crafting new, realistic thoughts that slowly become your new truth. First step in this rewrite is to catch the old script in the act and challenge it, just like we practiced earlier. But now we are going to take it a step further. Once you have questioned the old thought, you are going to actively write a new one. Let us take a very common script. "I have to go to this party and it is going to be so awkward and draining." This thought sets you up for failure before you even walk in the door. It primes your brain for threat and exhaustion. Now, let us rewrite that script. What if you changed it to, "I get to go to this party tonight. I am curious to see who I might meet and what interesting conversations might happen." Can you feel the difference? "I have to" feels like a burden. "I get to" feels like an opportunity. It shifts your entire mindset from dread to anticipation. Let us try another one. The old script. "I said something stupid in that meeting and now everyone thinks I am an idiot." This thought is a heavy weight that can ruin your whole day. Our rewrite. "I participated in that meeting. Not everything I say will be perfect, and that is completely okay. I am learning and growing, and my contribution still matters." This new script is not delusional. It does not pretend you were brilliant. It simply offers a kinder, more balanced perspective. It acknowledges imperfection as a normal part of being human, and reminds you of your inherent worth. This is the kind of script that builds resilience instead of tearing you down. The most powerful rewrite of all might be the one that addresses your deepest fear. I'm not good enough. This old script is the root of so much social pain. The new script we will craft is not, I am the best and everyone loves me. That is too big and your brain will not buy it. Instead, try this on for size. I am enough exactly as I am right now. I have unique qualities to offer, and I am constantly becoming an even better version of myself. This script is grounded in self-acceptance. It acknowledges your worth as a given, not something you have to earn. It also embraces growth, which keeps you moving forward without the crushing pressure of having to be perfect right this second. To make these new scripts stick, you need to practice them deliberately. This is not a one-time edit. It is an ongoing process. When you catch yourself falling into an old thought pattern, pause and verbally in your head or out loud state your new script. Write your new scripts down on sticky notes and put them on your bathroom mirror. Read them to yourself every morning. The more you repeat them, the more your brain will start to believe them. You are carving new neural pathways. The old pathways, the ones for I'm not good enough, will still be there, but they will grow weaker from lack of use. The new pathways for I am enough will grow stronger and stronger, eventually becoming your new default. This process of rewriting your mental scripts is the heart of your transformation. It is how you change your identity from the inside out. As your thoughts change, your feelings will change. As your feelings change, your actions will change. And as your actions change, your entire social reality will change. You are not just learning to cope with social situations anymore. You are actively building a new, confident, and peaceful inner world from which to operate. This is the work of becoming the person you have always wanted to be, not by pretending, but by thoughtfully and lovingly editing the stories you tell yourself. It is hard work, but it is the most rewarding work you will ever do. Chapter 8. The Small Win Method: Building Confidence One Tiny Step at a Time. We often think that confidence is something you are born with, a quality that some people have and others do not. This is completely wrong. Confidence is not a trait, it is a result. It is the result of evidence. Your brain looks at your past experiences and uses them to predict how you will do in the future. If your past is full of memories of avoiding conversations and feeling awkward, your brain will predict more of the same, and your confidence will be low. The only way to build real, unshakable confidence is to give your brain new evidence. You need to create a string of successful experiences, no matter how small, that prove to your brain that you are capable. This is the small win method, and it is the most reliable path to social confidence there is. The biggest mistake most people make is trying to take a giant leap. They decide they are going to go from being shy to being the life of the party overnight. They put immense pressure on themselves to have a perfect conversation with a stranger, and when it doesn't go perfectly, they feel like a failure. Their brain takes this as evidence that they are, in fact, not capable, and their confidence takes another hit. This approach is a recipe for discouragement. The small win method takes the opposite approach. Instead of one giant, scary leap, we are going to take 1,000 tiny, easy steps. Each tiny step is a guaranteed success, and each success is a piece of evidence your brain can use to rebuild your confidence from the ground up. So what does a small win look like? It should be so easy that it feels almost silly. It should be something that you are 100% sure you can accomplish. Here are some examples. Your small win for today could be simply making eye contact with one person and giving them a small, genuine smile. That is it. You do not have to talk to them. You just have to smile. If you do that, you win. Your small win tomorrow could be saying a simple hello to the barista who makes your coffee. Just one word: success. Your small win the next day could be giving someone a genuine compliment. It could be as simple as, I like your shoes. You say it and you move on. You are not trying to start a conversation. You are just delivering a small, positive message. The beauty of this method is that these small wins are almost impossible to fail at. Anyone can smile at someone. Anyone can say hello. And when you succeed, your brain takes a mental note. It says, "Hey, we did that social thing and it went fine. Nothing bad happened. In fact, the other person smiled back and it felt kind of nice." This is the new evidence you need. One small win will not transform you overnight. But a string of small wins, day after day, week after week, will slowly, steadily, and powerfully rewire your brain's predictions about social situations. You are proving to your ancient brain, one tiny piece of evidence at a time, that the social world is not a dangerous place. You can also use the small win method within a single conversation. If you are talking to someone and you feel the anxiety rising, do not put pressure on yourself to have a long, brilliant chat. Just aim for one more small win. Your small win could be to ask one more question, or to listen fully to their answer without interrupting, or to share one small thing about yourself. Just one. Then, if you want to, you can aim for another. You are breaking down a potentially overwhelming social interaction into a series of tiny, manageable, and winnable moments. This takes the pressure off and allows you to be present and successful, one step at a time. Start your small win journey today. Pick one incredibly easy social action and commit to doing it. Write it down, do it, celebrate it, really feel the success. Then tomorrow do it again or try a slightly different tiny win. You are building a staircase out of the valley of low confidence, one small, solid step at a time. This method is patient, it is kind, and it works because it works with your brain's natural learning process. You are not forcing yourself to be confident. You are gently and consistently gathering the evidence that makes confidence the only logical conclusion. Before you know it, you will look back and realize you have climbed higher than you ever thought possible. Chapter 9. Your Social Battery, Understanding and Managing Your Energy. Have you ever spent a few hours at a lively party and felt completely drained afterward, like you had just run a mental marathon? Or have you ever had a quiet, uneventful Sunday at home and felt restless and understimulated? These are clues to one of the most important aspects of your social self, your social battery. Just like a phone, every single person has a battery that powers their social interactions. The key difference is that these batteries charge and drain differently for different people. Some people's batteries are charged by being around others, and some people's batteries are drained by it. Understanding your battery type is not about labeling yourself. It is about learning to manage your energy so you can show up as your best self without burning out. If you are someone who generally feels energized and alive after spending time with a group of people, you likely have what we can call an extroverted battery. For you, social interaction is a source of power. The more people, the more stimulation, the more your battery charges. Solitude, on the other hand, might slowly drain you, leaving you feeling flat and looking for a social hit to recharge. If this sounds like you, your challenge might be learning to manage your need for stimulation in a way that doesn't overwhelm others or leave you feeling dependent on constant social contact. Your journey is about finding the right balance of social engagement that keeps your battery full without running it into the red. If you are someone who feels wonderfully refreshed and clear-headed after a quiet evening alone but feels tired and irritable after too much social time, you likely have what we can call an introverted battery. For you, social interaction, even when it is enjoyable, consumes energy. It is like running a powerful app on your phone. It works great, but it drains the battery. You need to unplug and be alone to recharge. This is not a flaw, it is simply your nature. If this is you, your challenge is learning to honor your need for solitude without feeling guilty or antisocial. You need to become a master of managing your social calendar so you have enough quiet time to recharge your battery for the social moments that matter. There is also a third, very common type, the ambivert. This person has a flexible battery that can be charged by both social interaction and solitude, depending on the situation and their mood. They might love a big party one weekend and then crave a completely quiet weekend after. The key for the ambivert is awareness. They need to pay close attention to their current energy levels and adjust accordingly. They cannot rely on a simple rule like parties charge me or parties drain me. They have to check in with themselves in the moment and ask, what does my battery need right now? This flexibility is a huge strength, but it requires a high level of self-awareness. Once you have identified your general battery type, the real work begins, learning to manage it. This means planning your social life with your energy in mind. If you are introverted and have a big social event on Saturday night, you might plan to have a completely quiet, low-stimulation day on Sunday to recharge. You might also plan to arrive a little late and leave a little early, so you are there for the peak of the event but not for the whole draining duration. If you are extroverted and you know you have a quiet weekend coming up, you might proactively schedule a coffee date or a phone call with a friend to give your battery the charge it needs. You are not being controlled by your battery. You are becoming its smart and caring manager. Understanding your social battery is an act of profound self-care. It means you stop judging yourself for feeling tired after a party or restless on a quiet evening. You stop trying to force yourself to be someone you are not. Instead, you accept your natural energy patterns and you work with them. You design a social life that is sustainable and fulfilling for you, not for some imaginary ideal. When you manage your battery well, you show up to social situations with more energy, more presence, and more genuine interest. You are not running on empty, trying to force connection through a fog of exhaustion. You are fully charged and ready to connect, and that makes all the difference in the world. Chapter 10. The Connection Launchpad: How to Start Conversations That Don't Suck. The moment of silence before you speak to a stranger can feel like the longest moment in the world. Your mind races, searching for the perfect, brilliant, unforgettable opening line. You put immense pressure on yourself to be clever and original, and this pressure is exactly what makes you freeze. Here is the liberating secret that changes everything. The perfect opening line does not exist, and you do not need one. The goal of starting a conversation is not to deliver a stunning performance. The goal is simply to launch a connection, to throw out a small, friendly rope and see if the other person wants to grab the other end. The best launch pads are simple, low pressure, and grounded in the world around you. Forget the cheesy pickup lines and the rehearsed jokes. The most effective conversation starters are observations. They are comments about the immediate environment, the situation you are both currently sharing. You are at a coffee shop. You can say, "Wow, that smells amazing. Have you tried anything here before?" You are at a work conference. You can say, "That last speaker was really interesting. What did you think of their main point?" You are at a dog park. The launchpad is obvious. "What a beautiful dog. What's their name?" This works because it is natural. It acknowledges the shared reality you both occupy. It is not a line. It is a simple, genuine observation that invites the other person to share their perspective. Another powerful launchpad is the simple, honest compliment, but it has to be done right. A generic compliment like "you look nice" can sometimes feel a little flat. A specific, genuine compliment is a gift. Instead of "you look nice," try "that is a really cool color on you. It really brings out your eyes." Instead of "you seem smart," try "I really liked the question you asked in the meeting. It made me think." Specificity shows that you are truly paying attention, that you see them as an individual. It is a warm and disarming way to open a door. And the best part, even if the conversation goes no further, you have just made someone's day a little brighter, and that is a win in itself. Sometimes the best launchpad is not a question at all, but a simple, honest statement about your own state. This is a vulnerability launchpad, and it can be incredibly effective at creating instant connection. You can walk up to someone at a party and simply say, "Hi, I don't know anyone here yet. You looked friendly, so I thought I would come over and introduce myself." This is disarming because it is so honest. It drops all pretense. It shows courage and vulnerability, and most people will respond warmly to that. It gives them an easy role to play, the friendly person who welcomes you. You have given them a gift by making them feel approachable and kind. The key to all these launchpads is that they are low stakes. You are not proposing marriage. You are just making a small comment. The other person might respond enthusiastically, which is great. They might give a short, polite answer and turn away, which is also fine. It tells you they are not open to talking right now, and you have lost nothing. You have simply gathered information. The more you practice using these simple launch pads, the more you realize that starting a conversation is not a terrifying test. It is a simple, repeatable skill. It is like learning to serve a tennis ball. The first few times it feels awkward, but with practice it becomes natural, automatic, and even fun. You are not performing, you are just reaching out, and that is something anyone can learn to do. Chapter 11. The Listening Superpower: Making People Feel Heard. In a world where everyone is trying to talk, to be heard, to make their point, the person who truly knows how to listen becomes a rare and precious gem. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. They are already formulating their next sentence in their head while the other person is still talking. They are waiting for their turn. True listening is something entirely different. It is an active, focused, and powerful practice. When you truly listen to someone, you are giving them a gift of immense value. You are saying, without words, "You matter. What you are saying is important. I see you." This is the foundation of deep influence and trust. So what does true listening actually look like in practice? It starts with your body. You turn your body towards the speaker. You make gentle, comfortable eye contact, not a starring contest. You nod occasionally to show you are following along. You put your phone away, completely out of sight. This physical act of orientation sends a powerful signal that you are fully present and available. It tells the other person that for this moment, they have your complete, undivided attention. In our distracted world, this simple act alone can make someone feel incredibly valued. It creates a small bubble of connection in a noisy world. The next level of listening is mental. This is where you quiet your internal chatter and truly focus on their words. You are not thinking about what you are going to say next. You are not judging what they are saying or comparing it to your own experience. You are simply receiving their communication. You are trying to understand their perspective, their feelings, their world. Imagine you are a detective, and their words are clues to the mystery of who they are. This mental focus is challenging, especially at first, but it is the core of the listening superpower. When your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to their voice, their words, their face. The third level of listening is the most powerful of all: reflective listening. This is where you occasionally feed back what you are hearing to make sure you understand and to show you are deeply engaged. You are not parroting them. You are distilling and reflecting the essence of their message. You might say things like, "So it sounds like you are feeling really frustrated about that situation at work." Or, "If I am hearing you correctly, what you really value is honesty in your friendships." Or, "Wow, that must have been an incredibly exciting experience for you." These simple reflections do two things. First, they confirm to the speaker that you are truly listening and that you get it. Second, they help them clarify their own thoughts and feelings, which is a profound gift in itself. When you listen at this deep level, magic happens. People open up. They trust you. They feel safe with you. They will remember you as one of the best conversationalists they have ever met, even though you might have spoken very little. Why? Because you made them feel heard. And feeling heard is one of the deepest human needs. It is more valuable than being impressed by someone's wit or stories. By becoming a master listener, you become a master connector. You are not just hearing words. You are understanding a human being. This is the superpower that will set you apart in every single relationship, from casual acquaintances to your most cherished loved ones. Practice it and watch your world transform. Chapter 12. The Empathy Bridge: Stepping into Their World. Listening is the foundation, but empathy is the bridge you build upon it. Empathy is the ability to step into another person's world and see things from their perspective. It is not about agreeing with them. It is not about feeling sorry for them. It is about understanding them. It is the skill of asking yourself, what might it be like to be them right now? What are they feeling? What might they be needing? When you build this bridge of empathy, you cross over from being a separate observer to a connected companion. You move from "I understand your words" to "I understand you." This is the deepest form of human connection, and it is the true engine of positive influence. Let us practice building the empathy bridge with a simple scenario. Imagine you are talking to a coworker who seems short-tempered and snappy. Your autopilot reaction might be to get defensive or to take it personally. You might think, "Why are they being so rude to me? What did I do wrong?" This reaction keeps you on your side of the bridge, focused on your own feelings. Now try building the bridge. Ask yourself, "I wonder what is going on in their world. Maybe they had a terrible morning. Maybe they are under a huge amount of pressure from their boss. Maybe they are not feeling well." This shift in perspective does not excuse their rudeness, but it transforms your reaction. You go from feeling attacked to feeling curious. You might even respond with kindness, saying something like, "You seem a little stressed today. Is everything okay?" This simple, empathetic question can completely change the dynamic of the interaction. Building the empathy bridge requires you to use all the skills you have developed so far. You use your calm anchor to regulate your own emotions, so you do not get swept away by theirs. You use your curiosity to wonder about their inner world. You use your listening skills to gather clues from their words, tone, and body language. You put all the pieces together to form a hypothesis about their emotional state. The key is to hold that hypothesis lightly. You are not declaring that you know exactly what they are feeling. You are simply offering a bridge, an invitation for them to meet you in a place of understanding. You might say something like, "It sounds like you might be feeling a bit overwhelmed by this project. Is that fair to say?" You are offering understanding, not demanding agreement. Empathy is especially powerful in moments of conflict. When you are in an argument, it is very easy to get stuck on your side of the bridge, defending your position and attacking theirs. This only widens the gap between you. The courageous and transformative act is to stop defending and start trying to understand. You can say something like, "Okay, help me understand your perspective. It is clearly very important to you, and I want to get where you are coming from." This simple statement can disarm the most heated argument. It shows that you value the relationship more than you value being right. It opens a door for real dialogue and problem solving. It turns an enemy into a person you are trying to understand. Practicing empathy is like exercising a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. Start small. When you are in line at the grocery store, look at the person checking out and wonder about their story. When you see someone who looks sad, silently send them a wish of kindness. When you disagree with someone's opinion in a conversation, pause and try to articulate their point of view in your head as fairly and accurately as you can. You are building the habit of stepping outside of your own experience and into the experience of others. This habit will transform your relationships. You will become known not just as a good listener, but as a deeply understanding person, someone who gets people. And in a world that often feels divided and disconnected, that is the most powerful and beautiful thing you can be. Chapter 13. Speaking your truth with kindness, the power of authentic communication. For many of us, there is a deep-seated fear that if we are truly ourselves, people will not like us. So we hide. We people please. We agree with things we do not believe. We laugh at jokes we do not find funny. We shrink ourselves to fit into what we think others want us to be. This strategy might feel safe in the short term, but it is a recipe for exhaustion and resentment in the long run. It creates relationships that are built on a false version of you, and those relationships can never be truly fulfilling. Authentic communication is the brave and liberating practice of speaking your truth, your real thoughts and feelings, while simultaneously being kind and respectful to the person you are speaking to. The first step to speaking your truth is knowing what your truth is. This requires self-awareness. You have to check in with yourself regularly and ask, "What do I really think about this? How do I really feel about this situation?" Often, we are so busy reacting to others that we lose touch with our own inner compass. Take a moment, take a breath, and tune in. Do you actually want to go to that movie, or are you just saying yes to be agreeable? Does that comment someone made actually bother you, or are you brushing it off? Your feelings and opinions are valid, and they matter. Getting clear on them is the foundation of authentic communication. Once you know your truth, the next step is expressing it in a way that builds bridges instead of burning them. This is where kindness comes in. Speaking your truth does not mean being brutally honest or dumping your feelings on someone without any filter. That is not authenticity. That is aggression. True authenticity is a balance of honesty and care. It means saying what you need to say in a way that the other person can hear. It means using I statements that focus on your experience rather than use statements that sound like accusations. For example, instead of saying, "You are so inconsiderate for being late," you could say, "I felt hurt and unimportant when I was waiting for you." One invites a fight, the other invites a conversation. Let us practice this with a few common scenarios. Imagine a friend keeps interrupting you. Your old autopilot might be to just stay quiet and feel annoyed. Your new authentic communication could be to say, with a gentle smile, "Hey, I am really enjoying this conversation, and I would love to finish my thought if that is okay." You have stated your need clearly and kindly. Imagine someone asks you to do something you really do not want to do. Instead of a reluctant "sure," you can say, "Thank you so much for thinking of me, but I am going to have to pass on that. I have a lot on my plate right now and need to protect my energy." You have said no, which is your truth, and you have done it with grace and gratitude. Speaking your truth with kindness is a practice, and it will feel uncomfortable at first. You might worry that people will be upset or that they will reject you. And the truth is, some people might. The people who are used to the old, people-pleasing version of you might be surprised when you start setting boundaries and expressing your real opinions. But here is the beautiful part. The people who truly belong in your life will respect you more for it. They will appreciate your honesty and your clarity. Authentic communication is a filter. It gently pushes away relationships that are not meant for you and deepens the ones that are. It allows you to build a social world where you are loved and accepted for who you really are, not for a role you are playing. And that is a world worth building. Chapter 14. The Ripple Effect: Handling Difficult People in Conflict. No matter how much you rewire your brain, you will still encounter difficult people in challenging situations. There will be the coworker who constantly criticizes, the family member who pushes your buttons, the friend who is always negative. There will be moments of disagreement and conflict. Your old brain would see these as threats, triggering your fight, flight, or freeze response. But you are not the same person you were at the beginning of this book. You now have a toolbox full of skills, and you can use them to navigate these rough waters with grace and strength. You can learn to handle difficult people without becoming difficult yourself, and you can use conflict as an opportunity for deeper understanding instead of a reason for war. Your first and most powerful tool in any difficult interaction is your anchor of calm. When someone criticizes you or says something that makes your blood boil, your ancient brain will instantly sound the alarm. Before you do anything else, you must drop your anchor. Take a long, slow breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Remind yourself that you are safe in this moment. This pause, this act of self-regulation, is everything. It prevents you from reacting from your primal brain and gives your smart brain a chance to get back online. It allows you to choose your response instead of being a puppet of your anger or fear. From this place of calm, you can handle almost anything. Once you are calm, your next tool is curiosity. Instead of getting defensive, get curious. A difficult person is often a hurting person. Their anger or criticism is usually not really about you. It is about their own fears, insecurities, or pain. Your curiosity can help you see past their behavior to the person underneath. You might ask yourself, what is driving this? What might they be needing right now that they are not getting? This does not mean you accept abusive behavior. It means you are trying to understand the situation more fully, which gives you more power to respond effectively. You might even ask them a curious question like, "It sounds like this is really important to you. Can you help me understand your perspective better?" This simple question can completely disarm them and open a door. Your third tool is the empathy bridge. Try to genuinely step into their world for a moment. What might it feel like to be them? To have their pressures, their history, their fears? Again, this is not about agreeing with them or excusing bad behavior. It is about understanding them as a fellow human being. And often, when people feel understood, their defensiveness melts away. You can even verbalize this understanding. You can say, "I can see that you are really frustrated about this, and I hear how important it is to you." You are not saying they are right. You are simply acknowledging their feelings. This validation can be incredibly powerful in de-escalating a conflict. Finally, use your authentic communication skills to express your own truth and set healthy boundaries. You can be calm, curious, and empathetic and still say, "I am not okay with being spoken to in that tone. If you are upset, I am happy to talk about it, but we need to do it respectfully." You can state your needs clearly and firmly, without aggression. You can agree to disagree. You can decide to disengage from a conversation that is going nowhere. Handling difficult people is not about winning. It is about maintaining your own peace and integrity while navigating the situation as skillfully as possible. Every difficult interaction is a chance to practice your new skills, to strengthen your new neural pathways, and to prove to yourself that you can remain calm, centered, and kind even in the storm. This is the ripple effect. Your calm can inspire calm in others, and your strength can become a model for how to handle conflict with grace. Chapter 15. Becoming a safe person, the highest form of influence. You have come so far on this journey. You have learned to calm your ancient brain, to rewrite your mental scripts, to listen deeply, and to speak your truth with kindness. You have built a powerful new social operating system. Now, we arrive at the final, most beautiful destination, becoming a safe person. This is not about learning any new techniques. This is about the person you become when all the techniques become a natural part of who you are. A safe person is someone who radiates calm. They are someone who listens without judgment. They are curious about you, not performative for themselves. They are authentic and kind. When you are around a safe person, you can relax. You can let your guard down. You can be yourself. This is the highest form of influence, an influence that is not taken but freely given. Think about the people in your own life who make you feel safe. What is it about them? They likely do not try to impress you. They do not dominate the conversation. They do not judge your opinions. They are simply present, open, and accepting. They make you feel seen and heard. They are like a calm, warm fire on a cold night. You naturally want to draw close to them. This is the kind of person you are becoming. As you practice your anchor of calm, you will radiate a steadiness that others can feel. As you practice your deep listening and empathy, you will create a space where people feel comfortable opening up. You will become a refuge in a chaotic world. Becoming a safe person has a profound effect on your relationships. People will seek you out. They will confide in you. They will trust you. Not because you are the most brilliant or witty person in the room, but because you are the most present and understanding. Your presence will become a gift. In your family, you can become the person who can mediate conflict and bring everyone together. Among your friends, you can become the person they turn to when they are struggling. In your workplace, you can become the colleague who fosters collaboration and psychological safety. Your influence will grow not from pushing your ideas, but from creating the conditions where everyone feels safe enough to share theirs. This kind of influence is deeply satisfying because it is built on genuine connection, not manipulation. You are not using people, you are serving them with your presence. You are not trying to change them, you are accepting them as they are. And ironically, this acceptance is often what allows people to grow and change. When people feel safe and accepted, they are more open to new ideas, including yours. Your calm can calm them. Your empathy can help them understand themselves. Your authenticity gives them permission to be authentic too. You become a catalyst for positive change in everyone you meet, simply by being the safe, grounded person you have worked so hard to become. This is the ultimate goal of mastering your social instincts. It was never about learning tricks to get people to like you. It was never about becoming a smooth talker or a social butterfly. It was always about something much deeper. It was about rewiring your own brain so you could find peace within yourself. And from that place of inner peace, you could then offer that same peace to others. You set out on this journey to gain influence, and you have discovered that the greatest influence of all is the quiet, powerful gift of making others feel safe. You are now that gift. You are a safe person, and the world deeply needs more people like you. Conclusion. You have traveled through this book, and in doing so, you have traveled deep into the landscape of your own mind. You have learned about the ancient brain that has been running the show and the outdated programs it has been running. You have discovered the power of your breath to anchor you in the storm, the magic of curiosity to turn your attention outward, and the deep fulfillment that comes from truly listening to another human being. You have practiced rewriting the negative stories that held you back and building your confidence one tiny win at a time. You have learned to manage your unique social battery and to speak your truth with a blend of honesty and kindness. This has not been a collection of random tips. It has been a complete rewiring of your social operating system, a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and how you relate to the world. Your new operating system is now live. The tools are inside you, not as abstract ideas, but as pathways in your brain that grow stronger with every use. You will still have moments where your ancient brain tries to sound the alarm, and that is perfectly normal. But now, you have the skills to recognize that alarm for what it is, to soothe it, and to choose a different path. You have the power to walk into any room not with fear, but with calm curiosity. You have the power to build connections that are deep, authentic, and fulfilling. The journey does not end here. It truly begins here. Go out into your life and practice your new skills. Be patient and kind with yourself as you learn. Celebrate your small wins, and watch as your world transforms one connection at a time. You are now the master of your social instincts, and the influence you have will be a force for genuine good in the lives of everyone you meet.